So we're going to be starting with overachievers and underachievers of the college football season. And let's start with overachievers. First, we're going to start with Vanderbilt. They were unranked to begin the season. And now they finished the season 14th. They were just one of the first teams left out of the college football playoff. And they were largely led by their Heisman finalist, Diego Pavia, which led the SEC in passing touchdowns and was third in the SEC in passing yards. He led quarterbacks in the SEC in rushing touchdowns, and he led the SEC in completion percentage. I think a lot of people kind of just look at the face value of Vanderbilt and see a couple losses to some teams like Texas and Alabama and don't really get the full picture of how good their team actually was this year. Eli Stowers led the country in receiving yards among tight ends, and he ended up winning the John Mackey Award last night. They were just out of the playoffs here. They were 11th in total yards per game. This team was not projected to be one of the top teams in the SEC. I don't think a lot of people thought this. Last year might have been looked at as a flash in the pan for Vanderbilt. They were 10-2 to end the year, but they were one of the first teams left out. They were actually ranked ahead of Texas and obviously behind Notre Dame. But so moving on, one of the next teams, they were ranked to start the year. They were ranked 24th with Texas Tech. Obviously now, if you're following college football, they won the Big 12 championship just last week, and now they have a bye in the college football playoff. I think a lot of people expected Texas Tech to probably win the Big 12 championship, but I don't think people expected them to be as dominant as they were, led by Jacob Rodriguez, who ended up winning the Butkus Award last night and the Bednarik Award. Obviously, the Butkus Award is Best Linebacker in the country, and then the Bednarik Award is Best Defensive Player of the Year. So this is a guy that leads that defense, but it's among a few people. The defense is one of the best in the country. Cameron Dickey rushed for 1,000 yards this season and finished third in the Big 12 in rushing yards. Dickey also led the Big 12 in rushing touchdowns, but going back to their defensive end, David Bailey led the Big 12 in sacks and was second in the country. He had 13 and a half sacks. Bryce Pollock led the Big 12 in interceptions with 5. They had the number one rush defense this year, 5th in total yards per game, 3rd in points allowed per game, 5th in yards per game. This team was very well-rounded, and at the time that we're recording this, no college football playoff games have been played yet, but they were tied for 4th in sacks with 39 in the country. This is a defense that has an incredible front seven. So whoever matches up against them in the second round, maybe Oregon, we'll have to wait and see how that matchup plays out. It should be a good game regardless. But next, so moving on to Texas A&M. Texas A&M, for a long time was undefeated until the last week of the season where they lost against Texas. They started 19th and now they're 7th, but they were tied for first for most team sacks in college football with 41. This defense is unreal. Same thing as Texas A&M. They have a lot of guys who can get after the quarterback, led by Cassius Howell, who was the Bednarik Award finalist, and he led the SEC in sacks this year with 11.5 and was 4th in the country in sacks. Marcel Reed was a Davey O'Brien Award finalist, which is best quarterback in college football, and then Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award finalist for top upperclassman quarterback. He was also 3rd in the SEC in passing touchdowns with 25. One thing about this team that, if you watch them throughout the season, one of the last games of the season against South Carolina, they came back from a 30-3 deficit. School history for them, the largest comeback in school history. And they're in the college football playoff. At the beginning of the season, I remember when we were going through our SEC rankings, I didn't expect them to be nearly as good as they are right now. And look at them now. They're in the college football playoff and they play Miami. But so moving forward, I have USC. I have this is Southern Cal for the SEC fans. They started off unranked, and now they're 16th in the country. They're not as high as some of these other teams that we have on here, but they have Mekhi Lemon, who won the Biletnikoff Award, which is most outstanding wide receiver in college football. He led the country in receiving yards and was tied for second most receiving touchdowns in the Big Ten, next to some of those guys at Indiana. Their quarterback, Jada Maeva, led Big Ten in passing yards. And, I mean, the team was 10th in total yards per game in the country. They were 8th in passing yards per game. And, I mean, they were looked at in the preseason as the 9th best Big Ten team. I mean, there's like 30 teams in the Big Ten now, but early in the season, they were looked at as the 9th best Big Ten team, and that's pretty much middle of the pack going into the season. But they ended up finishing 4th in the Big Ten, just behind, a team named Oregon. So USC they didn't win some of the games they should have, but they're definitely surprised to be this high in the rankings just after being unranked to start the season. But so here's the obvious one, Indiana. They started off 20th in the country to start the season in ranking-wise. I mean, the early rankings don't mean much, but now they're first in the country. They're Big Ten champions. They were regarded as, I referred to USC as the preseason Big Ten rankings, but they were looked at as the 6th-ranked team in the Big Ten coming into the season. And Fernando Mendoza just won the Heisman this afternoon. He won the Maxwell Award last night, and he won the Davey O'Brien Award last night. Mendoza led the country in passing touchdowns. And, I mean, he had a lot of guys on the outside. Wide receiver Elijah Surratt led the Big Ten in receiving touchdowns, with 12, and was tied for 3rd in the country with that number. Another guy, Omar Cooper Jr., was also tied for 2nd in the Big Ten in receiving touchdowns with 11, just behind his teammate. And, I mean, their Coach Kirk Cignetti is Coach of the Year this year. He won that award last night. And, I mean, a lot of what makes this team special is their defense. They held Ohio State to 10 points, and they won by just getting 13 points against the best defense in the country in Ohio State. They have a number 3 rushing defense in the country, and they have they're 8th in total yards per game on offense. So this team's very balanced. I mean, coming into the season, nobody would have thought. I mean, obviously with Mendoza transferring in, you didn't really know what it was going to look like. But, I mean, this defense was 2nd in points allowed per game, 6th in yards allowed per game. I mean, as mentioned earlier, they were 4th in sacks with 39. I mean, you look at this team, and they're in a prime spot. They have a bye in the playoff. They were plus 10,000 to win the national championship at the beginning of the year, and now they have the 3rd best odds to win it.